finally playing some football. Let's break down this Patriots game. What is up, Finn fans? How are y'all doing today? Yes, we are finally in the moment of talking about the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Week 1, heading up to New England. I like that we're heading up to New England in week 1. It's not cold up there, but I'm going to get to that. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about all the good, sexy things. But before we jump into that, got some new patrons. I got Douglas Beigler, $20 Patreon. Also, awesome name. It's also my name. And Alfredo Rivera, a $4 patron. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you would like to, it's linked below. Don't feel like you need to. Already got, I think, 3 or 4 videos up there specifically for the patrons. And you also get to join the Discord. For comment of the day, I actually have a package that I'm going to be opening for comment of the day. But this is how today's video is going to go. I'm going to be talking to Patriot Global, good friend of mine and a Patriot YouTuber. Then I'm going to do my thing like a chicken wing and talk about the 5 ways the Miami Dolphins can beat the New England Patriots and then give you guys my prediction on what's going to happen. And then I'm going to open the package. So without further ado, I got my guy, Patriot Global here. Let's talk to him real quick. So you can see I got my guy, Patriot Global here. Yes, I am friends with a Patriot fan. It does happen from time to time. But yes, I got Patriot Global here. How are you doing, bud?
I'm good, buddy. How are you? Thank you for having me on.
I'm doing good. Now, I just want to say this. Not all Patriot fans are bad. Like I said, I got my guy, Patriot Global here. He's a very good, well-rounded, smart Patriot fan. He knows his stuff. And we're going to talk to him. We're going to ask him about the Patriots. And this is a big division rivalry. It's honestly like it's always between the Patriots and the Dolphins. It's always coming down to that. So this is a big game, especially to start week 1. And thankfully, as a Dolphin fan, we're playing in New England week 1. So it's not like negative 400 degrees. But how, just first estimate right off the top of the dome, how are you feeling about this matchup? Dolphins coming to your town playing the Patriots.
Yeah, so I said this already today when we did our live with Fan to Fan, and that's that, I feel like in past years, I haven't really been too excited for these games. While the Dolphins and the Patriots, it always is a great matchup, and it's one like you don't really know what's going to happen. It always seems split. Like, I don't know what kind of magic God is raining down, but like it doesn't matter the roster. It doesn't matter how good or bad one team is. It's always split in half for some odd reason. Like the Patriots always just mess up one of these games, but it's always a place where I'm like, the Patriots should win this game. But now when I'm looking at the rosters, I'm looking at the depth chart. Both teams are fairly equal. Now, I would say the Patriots, of course, are still a bit above, but the Miami Dolphins, I think, had a really good offseason. And I think that they're both 2 very underrated teams. And I wouldn't say that, look, the Dolphins suck. I wouldn't even say the Patriots suck. And I think that's something a lot of people kind of confuse. There's one word that I would use to describe both of these teams, and that is unsure. Both of these teams made a lot of roster moves. They have a lot of rookies. They have a lot of young guys coming in, and they're unproven. That's even a better word that I would use. It's just the word unproven. Both of these teams have players that we don't know how they're going to do. Rookies coming in, second-year players, guys that you're just not sure how they're going to adjust to the NFL. They have really great ability, but you just don't know how they're going to react yet. So that's kind of the word I would use for both of these teams. I think that they're very similar in that aspect. When I'm looking at the depth chart and the position battles between both of them, they're so equal that this game really could go either way. So, it's not something where I'm scared where, I would be when we're playing the Ravens or the Chiefs or whatnot, but it's not a game that I'm confidently going into being like, we're coming out this with a easy dub.
Yeah, man. And you said it perfectly. Both teams are unproven. You guys had a lot of opt-outs. I think you guys had the most opt-outs in the NFL, and you lost a good amount of names in free agency. Mm-hmm. Do you think the opt-outs and do you think that the losses in free agency are going to hurt you guys this season or even in this game? Do you think it's going to take an effect on the outcome?
Yeah, so I would definitely say the free agent departures are going to be the bigger one. The opt-outs don't worry me too much. For the most part, they're not big names. Guys like Danny Vitale, guys like Matt Lacoste, not really guys that worry you. Somebody like Patrick Chung, he was a guy that had a pretty down year this past year. The Patriots brought in Adrian Phillips. They drafted Kyle Duggar, the safety out of Lenore-Ryan, who was looking really, really good. They got him in the second round. So with Patrick Chung, I'm not worried about it there either, just because of the depth they have at safety. The biggest one for me is going to be Dante Hightower. Easily the biggest one for the New England Patriots. And hey, as a Dolphins fan, you know what I'm talking about because of this, because you took two of our linebackers this offseason in Kyle Van Noy and Landon Roberts. So that linebacker core is depleted. Honestly, we only have about two true linebackers. One of them actually only made the 53-man roster, and then the other one got promoted from the practice squad. That's Juwan Bentley and Cash Maluia. The one is a rookie, and the other one is a third-year linebacker. So there's a lot of worry going into this for the New England Patriots. I would say that is my area of concern. The offense is going to have a lot of questions, period. Cam Newton's coming into the mix. You have like a pretty much full new slate of wide receivers. Their offensive line, they tried to add a lot of depth. They have about 9 to 10 guys on the depth chart just for the offensive line, which is just bizarre. That is the most stacked position they have. So they're really trying to keep that intact for sure. But that linebacker group went from the boogeyman defense, the core of the New England Patriots, especially that defense. And now it's really depleted, and you're kind of just asking yourself, how is this going to go? To me, that goes back to like the unproven, the unsure ability, because you're going to have guys like Anthony Jennings, Josh Uche, Chase Winovich, John Simon, Shalik Calhoun, guys like that who are really more edge defenders and setting the defensive line, who are going to be playing at that linebacker position, playing off the ball. So for me, that's more of the concern of the departure of Kyle Van Noy, Landon Roberts, and Dante Hightower, of course, being out, and Jamie Collins.
Yeah, man, that Patriot defense, like, we all know Tom Brady, and he's, one of the best. And I like to say he's the greatest of his decade, because I honestly think if he played in different decades, he might not have done as well. But that defense won you guys a lot of championships, and that defense kept you in a lot of games, especially the turnover differential. You guys were always around the ball. Now that you don't have Tom Brady, Cam Newton, I know we're talking about the Dolphins game, but I do want to pick your brain just real quick. How do you feel about Cam Newton, and do you think he'll make it through the whole entire season?
Yeah, so I mean, look, that's a big concern of mine too, just because I feel like when we've seen Cam Newton the past few years, not really able to make it through a full season. So this is something all Patriots fans were just crossing our fingers for, but he seems healthy. And he seems extremely motivated. I think that's the big thing. With Cam Newton in his early years, we saw him trying to escape the pocket a lot. We saw him trying to make just those really big plays down the field constantly, resulted in interceptions, resulted in him getting injured, because he was just trying to do too much at once. At this point in his career, and especially with time that he's had with the Pats this offseason, he's realized that, it's okay to take the check down. It's okay to just get 5 yards rather than trying to make a play that isn't there. Now, I do still expect him to be scrambling and being that mobile quarterback, Cam Newton, of course, but just a smarter version, not panicking in the pocket. If James White is open, because look, James White is going to be like that Christian McCaffrey for Cam Newton. Just taking that quick dump off is always okay. It's going to be a huge transition, but I think it's going to be a nice transition. Look, Tom Brady was always the leader of New England, right? Tom Brady, laser completely focused, always, completely zoned in on game day. With Cam Newton, he's completely determined. I don't think anybody in the NFL is questioning that. You see him on Instagram, you see him on YouTube, you see his press conferences. Like, he is extremely, extremely motivated and extremely upset with the NFL. So, look, that's just fuel to the fire. But just an aspect of a younger guy. He has handshakes, like an individual handshake that's different with each wide receiver he does in the huddle. He's made sure to have connections with each of these guys. And there is just a plethora of videos of him dancing every single day during practice. And I just think that's the environment that New England needs right now. And that's not to hate on Tom Brady at all, but it's just a completely different atmosphere. You're going from like tough, laser focused, being serious to, we have something to prove. Let's get the job done, but let's have fun doing it. So, I think that that's going to be a really good impact on this team for sure.
Yeah, he is a completely different person than Tom Brady. We've seen Tom Brady yelling at people on the sidelines when they didn't run their routes and yelling at offensive coordinators. Yeah. But big game, 1:00 Sunday. What is your final prediction of the game, and what is your final thoughts of how this game's going to go?
Yeah, so I've been going back and forth with the score, and it's tough. It's a tough one to predict scores, period, but especially week one with two teams, again, I'm going to say it, that are unproven, right? So I'm going to go about 17-22 New England. I think it's going to be an extremely close game. Honestly, like I said, this game could go either way. I'm not going to come out of the game surprised. Patriots win, won't be surprised. Dolphins win, I'm not going to be surprised. So either way, this really is, I would say about a 60-40 game or 55-45. I give a little bit of an edge to the Pats just for coaching reasons and stuff like that. Of course, home field advantage. But like I said, I really think that this is a matchup that is fairly even just because of depth reasons. And of course, Brian Flores does know the New England Patriots system very well. But, all in all, I think this is a really exciting week one matchup that I'm excited to see.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So, you're always welcome. I'll probably have you back on when we face you guys. I think it's December 20th. So next time we face you guys, I'll have you back on. But, everyone, be sure to go check out Patriots Global. Very, very informed, very, very good YouTube channel. Where else can they find you besides here on YouTube?
Yeah, so you guys can also find me on Instagram at patriots.global. You can also check me out on Twitter. I do a lot of updates on the Patriots over there, the little updates that you just don't really make videos for. And even the big things, too. You can find me on Twitter at Patriots Global and the number 2. And yeah, that's where you guys can find my socials.
Awesome. Be sure to check him out. Be sure to go to his channel, subscribe there, all that great stuff. Patriots Global, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me on, buddy.
Like I said before, I really do appreciate Patriot Global coming on the channel, giving his side of the things, kind of get a little bit of backstory on what's going on with the New England Patriots and all that good stuff. But now let's talk about the Miami Dolphins side of thing, and let's talk about the breakdown of this game. So, looking at the injury report, we have a few names on there that have worried people. I've been getting a ton of messages on Twitter talking about, hey, do you see who's on the injury report? Does this worry you? Does that worry you? Does this worry you? We have Mike Gesicki on there with a glute injury. And if you don't know what a glute injury is, that is the butt. We also have Xavier Howard on there, Byron Jones on there with an Achilles. He has been dealing with an Achilles. It's not a serious injury. Limited practice means he did practice, but it is an injury that he's been dealing with all of training camp. So I'm not too worried about the Achilles injury. We have Devontae Parker, who's on there because he's been on there. Kyle Van Noy with his hand, but again, he practiced all training camp. He has something on his hand. Preston Williams and Clayton Fedulum popped up on there yesterday, or for me today. Again, I'm recording this Thursday night. You are getting it Friday. Preston Williams and Tua being on the injury report doesn't faze me. If you're getting treatment, if they are working you out, if they're doing whatever, stretching you, whatever, you're on the injury report. That's how the NFL rules go. So for Preston Williams and Tua Tagovailoa to be on there, and full practice for Tua, but a hip, and Preston Williams with the knee, obviously they had those injuries, but they are fine. I honestly don't think anyone on this list is not going to play week one. If I had to pick somebody, maybe Xavier Howard, maybe they'll just hold him out for one more week, not to force the issue. And then we look at the New England Patriots really quick. And the only guy who did not practice is their offensive lineman with a knee injury, Cajuste. I don't even, like, of all the names of all the people on this list that didn't practice and I was going to talk about, It had to have been him, because I cannot pronounce his name. But other than that, it seems like everyone else is kind of limited. Stephen Gilmore is on there with a hamstring. I expect him to play. Chase Winovich is on there with the shoulder. I expect him to play. Julian Edelman, another guy with a knee, I expect to play. So doesn't seem like we're missing much out of that. Little news and notes from practice this week. Malcolm Perry and Lynn Bowden Jr. were rocking red jerseys. Now, what does that mean that they're rocking red jerseys? That means that they were our quarterbacks, or the replicants of our quarterbacks. Hello, getting ready for Cam Newton. Expect the same thing to happen next week when we have to go up against Josh Allen. Brian Flores is trying to get this defense ready to face a mobile, fast quarterback, a.k.a. let's put Lynn Bowden and Malcolm Perry out there. Love it. Love it. Getting us ready. Also, it was talked about in his Zoom meeting this week that he's going to limit a lot of people to 60 to 50 snaps, kind of have a snap count on people. That doesn't have anything to really do with injuries. It's more, this is the first time people are going to be coming together, making contact, running, doing a lot of extraneous work. You don't do that much in training camp, especially tackling to the ground. So he doesn't want to overexert people, and he doesn't want to deal or have, unfortunately, a lot of injuries. So he's going to limit people that he can limit. Like Fitz, he's not going to limit him to 60 snaps and then get him out of there. But there's a rotation with everyone else, and you can expect it because, again, this is the first game back. No preseason, no OTAs, no mini camps, no real training camp. So that is that. Now let's jump into the 5 things the Miami Dolphins have to do to beat the New England Patriots. Now, this is no specific order from most important to least important. You guys should already know this. It feels good to say it because I've been doing it all last season and the year before. But here are the 5 things the Miami Dolphins have to do to beat the New England Patriots, which is very doable. But I'll talk about that afterwards. Number 1, we have to stop the run. The New England Patriots are going to try to run it down our throats. The Miami Dolphins had a horrible run defense last year. Sony Michel expect a lot of handoffs. All of their running backs expect a lot of handoffs. We need to stop the run, make it one-dimensional, and force Cam Newton to beat us with his arm. That's first and foremost. You're probably going to hear that throughout all of the season. It's going to be on this list at some point to stop the run. Make it a one-dimensional offense, and then the defense can pin the ears back, get after them. Number 2, if we're stopping the run, if we're, limiting Cam, we need to also contain him. Don't let Cam start doing his thing and running around and sliding and getting up and doing his pointing and all that stuff. Limit Cam Newton. Contain him in the pocket. Make sure he's not scrambling around and getting those extra yardage, because if it is a 3rd and 8 and Cam Newton rushes for 8 yards, I am going to throw my face out the window. And then on the live stream on Sunday, it's going to be Skeletor. Please, for the love of God, contain Cam Newton. If we're stopping the run and if we're containing Cam Newton, can you guess what I'm talking about next that the Miami Dolphins have to do? And that's run the ball, baby. You bring in Jordan Howard, you bring in Matt Breida, you have Myles Gaskin, you have Patrick Laird, and you got Fletcher, I almost said Fletcher Cox, and you have Cox in there. You have to run the ball. Our leading rusher last year was Ryan Fitzpatrick. Run the ball. If we cannot produce runs, if we cannot have our own running back have over 100 yards and have at least someone produce some type of run game, it's going to be another very long season. Again, it is week 1, but I'll talk about that after my top 5 list. So yes, we need to run the ball. Opens up play action, doesn't put a lot of pressure on Fitz to make plays that he doesn't need to and then become Fitz tragic. For the love of cheese and everything holy on this earth, run the ball. The number 4 thing that the Miami Dolphins need to do to beat the New England Patriots, and this is very important, especially going against the New England Patriots. Yes, they don't have Tom Brady anymore, and yes, they don't have Gronkowski, and yes, they don't have a ton of lists that I will talk about in 2 seconds. No mistakes. We are a very young team, and we can't afford to make mistakes, especially against Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. No mistakes. And I'm not even just talking about turnovers, false starts, holdings, PIs, all this stuff. If we are in a 2nd and 5 and then there's a false start and now we're in a 2nd and 10, it's a big, big difference. You cannot have these penalties. You can't have these holding calls, because if we break off a big run on a touchdown that could potentially give us a 4-point lead, then it comes back because there's a holding. Cannot do it, because then we don't know what's going to happen the next play. No mistakes. And then the fifth and final thing that the Miami Dolphins have to do if they want to win this game, and it's the fundamentals of football. You got to get after Cam Newton. You contain him. We force him into one-dimensional offense, so now he has to stay in the pocket and throw the ball. You got to get after him. Look at the Denver Broncos versus the Carolina Panthers Super Bowl. You had Von Miller and that defense, DeMarcus Ware, just consistently getting after Cam, getting in his face, and he was frazzled. Got to get after him. It does, and this is another one you might hear throughout the years. You got to consistently put pressure on the opposing quarterback and make them make mistakes. Make them make mistakes, and then you don't make mistakes. So that is my top 5 list of things that the Miami Dolphins have to do. We have to stop the run, contain Cam Newton, run the ball, no mistakes, and pressure him. Now, you guys want to know, who you picking, Doug? What's the score, Doug? New England Patriots lost a lot of players. This is a list of opt-outs. Running back Brandon Bolden, tackle Marcus Cannon, safety Patrick Chung, linebacker Dante Hightower, wide receiver Marquise Lee, guard Najee Torin, fullback Danny Vitelli, tight end Matt Lacoste. Sorry if I pronounced his name wrong. That's the opt-out. This is who they lost in free agency. Tom Brady, Stephen Gostkowski, Phillip Rivers, Jamie Collins, Kyle Van Noy, how you doing? London Roberts, how you doing? Rob Gronkowski, on top of other names. They lost a lot of players. They lost a lot. So to think that the Dolphins are going to go in there and get their asses kicked ain't happening. I am confident enough to think that this is going to be a game. This is going to be a good game, and it's not going to be a 21-0 by halftime game. If I'm wrong and the Dolphins are blown out by halftime, I will come back here and tell you guys, because you guys know I do that. I think this is going to be a very good game. I think this is going to be a very competitive game. They still have Bill Belichick, and unfortunately now they have Cam Newton, who is just a pain in the butt. Is what it is. But we have a better defense now. We have 2 players from that Patriot team that knows that Patriot team. Yes, the Patriot team does know Landon Roberts and does know Kyle Van Noy, and Ted Karras. Hey, we got a ton of players that can help us with this game week 1. I'm picking the Miami Dolphins to win this game in a 24-17 victory by a touchdown. I think it's going to come down to the Patriots need to get a touchdown to tie the game, and the Dolphins are going to shut them down and win this game. That's what I'm picking. But I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say, whether you're a Patriot fan, whether you're a Dolphin fan. Be sure to comment below. What are your 5 things the Dolphins need to do to beat the Patriots? What are your 5 things you think, as a Patriot fan, need to do to beat the Dolphins? And what are your predictions? Be sure to comment them below, and I'm going to get to you guys. Comment of the day. Now, like I said, comment of the day, one of you guys sent me a package. This one comes from Ross. He sent me something. Sent me a few days ago, but I didn't make a video. I was live. So I'm going to open this for the comment of the day. It was 2 things in one. A little shiny on it. This is absolutely awesome. I'm not taking it out of the plastic. Look at this. It is a Sports Illustrated Rookie on the Rise, Dan Marino, Miami's hot quarterback. It's his rookie magazine. I'm keeping this in the plastic. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Ross. Let's see what your note says. Dear Doug, this is a small token of how much I love your channel and your videos. You can keep it or give it away. I first discovered your channel late one night when I was looking for old Miami Dolphin games to watch because I was having having trouble sleep after major intestinal surgery. Well, I hope you're doing better, Ross. After the first video I watched, I was hooked. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Having your videos to look forward to helped tremendously in my recovery. Always looking forward to seeing your next video, so please keep up the great work. I even took your advice and watched other fans channels, but none was professional looking as yours. Fins up. Ross, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that, and I really do. I love this magazine. Like I said, I'm not taking it out of the plastic. This is going... It's got to go on the wall somewhere. I don't know where. I lost room already on this wall, but I'm going to put it on the wall behind me. Thank you so much for that, and I'm glad that I'm helping you through this. I hope you're feeling better. I really do hope you're feeling better. But that's the video. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys are ready to take on the New England Patriots. I will be live 1 p.m. for this game. It's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing game. Like I said, I honestly think the Miami Dolphins are going to win. A lot of people are underestimating this team, and we're going to pull out the victory. But be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You know, I've been tweeting out a lot of things, news breaks, all that stuff. I'm almost at 3,000 on Twitter, and I'm almost at 1,000 on Instagram. I'm about, I think, 10 away, give or take. No, not 10. I'm close to 1,000 on Instagram. So go over there, check it out, follow. I'm going to start posting there more. Fan to Fan Network, a very good site that I'm a part of. I am the Miami Dolphin ambassador. Check out the website, fantofannetwork.com, the YouTube channel, and the Twitch stream. Also, you want more Dolphin content? Check out dolphstalk.com, a very, very good site. Podcasters, beat writers, all that good stuff. But other than that, I will see you guys Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live to watch the Miami Dolphins take on the New England Patriots in Foxborough. Let's get this W, Miami, and let's start it off 1-0. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.